going on, guys? Dawko back again. Hope you're all fantastic today, and welcome to the FNaF Show, episode 3. Today, we're not going to be interviewing a voice actor. Today, we're going to be interviewing creators of some awesome fan games. Not one,
pretty awesome,
but two. The creator of Popgoes,
Kane.
Mr. Kane Carter, and the creator of Five Nights at Candy's,
Good old Emil
Macko. Hi, my name is Dawko. I'm here to sing
Fabulous.
a song to you, 'cause this is the FNaF Show. Come on in, come inside. No need to be terrified.
Together, we're gonna have a grand old amazing, awesome, spectacular, fantastic fun time!
This is the FNaF Show. So, just in case people don't know what the games you've made are,
They
could
better.
you give a little description about what Popgoes is about, Kane, and a description about what Candy's is like?
Sure. Okay, so Popgoes was a fan game that came out.
Oh,
in
he's got little figures
2016.
over there.
It was made in over a year with people around the world. The idea of the game is just essentially playing the same kind of scenario as Five Nights at Freddy's, but the animatronics technically aren't doing anything wrong. None of them are haunted. They're programmed to do something, and it kind of goes wrong, and you have to survive 5 nights.
Yeah, kind of
sure.
done goof.
I created the Five Nights at Candy's franchise, which was made, the first one came out in mid-2015, and
Yeah.
then the second came out in 2016, and then the third one came out in 2017. And it stars Kane the Cat and Cindy the Cat, which are
I think we're getting a fourth one.
popular
Can't remember.
fan characters that I created also.
So, Rafa asked, how do you both feel about the success of your games?
God dang, that was my question.
Well,
I mean, close
it
to
still
it.
kind of feels unreal in a way. It feels like I never quite get used to it, and yet again I almost in a way do, but in a way that kind of makes me forget how huge it actually is and how many fans you actually have. So once you start to look at the comments on certain videos and you see people mention your own game, it really puts it into perspective. How many people you've influenced with it.
Yeah, so it's like when you see comments
Oh,
on
and it's
your
got
own
plushies
posts,
up there.
your own videos, it doesn't really feel that impressive, because it's just like a Facebook comment or like a Twitter reply. But when you start seeing it on other people's content, like that's when you start to notice it's made a difference. It's started to spread.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can agree with that. I know what you mean.
This is a cool one, and it's kind of just to do with your opinions, really, about FNaF in general. This is a nice one for both of you, because I'm interested to know this as well. What do you like the most and the least in the original FNaF story? Any of the gameplay in FNaF at all inspire your game?
Is that not obvious? Okay. I mean, well, we all know that Five Nights at Candy's 1 wasn't the most original fan game in terms of gameplay. And I should be the first one to admit that. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think, but of course, I definitely think that we took inspiration from the games. But I think as Scott deviated from the first, I think, 3 games with new ideas and everything.
Yeah,
I
God,
think
FNaF 4 changed everything.
As a whole, as a community, also with other fan games, they also started to become more original, and more different in a way.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. I think that's kind of present with most fan game developers. So the first fan games that people make tend to be quite derivative and copying mechanics and whatnot from FNaF. And then as the fan game developers evolve, they do end up introducing their own originality.
Yeah.
Not necessarily by just taking what has already been evolved from Five Nights at Freddy's, but
Doing
making their own
thing.
sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because both of your games had cool different mechanics as well, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, FNaC 2 had the
Yeah,
folds.
you're exactly right.
I suppose with the fan game with the official games coming out, there are more things that the fan game developers have to avoid to become more original. So when Scott creates a new game, you see something and say, okay, well, I'll avoid that, and then it gives us new ideas, I suppose. In that sense.
Yeah. Same with other fan games as well. Like other popular fan games, you try and just be different out of all of them to do your own thing. So yeah, this is a nice one. I think it's kind of obvious, or maybe not. To both, did you ever play any other fan games, and what were your favourite fan games that you've played or seen?
Before, during the development of Popgoes, and just before that, I didn't even have a computer that could actually play Unreal Engine games. So I used to watch them and sort of.
It's kind of how I am.
And
my computer's crap.
With some of the official games as well, but eventually, I would
Scratching my
have a computer and
headphones.
I could play the Unreal games as they came out instead of just waiting and just watching. So the joy of creation and story mode was there were some issues with it, and it was sort of people picked into it as soon as it came out, but it was a really good game. It was a giant, huge game.
It was incredible.
And it showed how much effort was put into it. But that game, when it came out, was really good. But I also remember being an outlier with Candies 2. Five Nights at Candies 2, I could tell some things as well. I think also Emil can agree, some parts were a bit dull or grey, but the gameplay was so fun. I genuinely found it to be one of the most fun 2D click team games. And I've been an outlier with that. I just thought it was a great concept. So those two games, really enjoyed those. So yeah.
I used to play fan games mostly in the beginning, 15, 16 kind of, but not so much anymore. And that has to do with me just being too busy. I rarely play any games unless there's a big new Nintendo game coming out or something like that. But mostly I guess I watch them on YouTube, and from that I sort of I get a view of which fan games I like and which I dislike or just but I think if I had to pick a favorite,
don't know why that happened.
it would be one of these recent ones, that Five Nights at Freddy's VR that you played.
Oh, Five Nights.
Yeah.
I really like it. I think it really shows how the first FNaF game, how well it really works in VR.
Yeah.
It's a completely different game.
Yeah,
I don't have a
it's
VR headset myself,
crazy.
but I would love to play it.
Yeah.
Seriously, it would be
Same.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Scott's version as well, and seeing, because that's going to be literally professionally made. Even though this fan game's literally professional as well. When I play it and stuff, it's so good and real. And I don't know whether Scott's been watching my Let's Play or not, but hopefully he's took some inspiration on that and put it on board with the developers. But honestly, I think it's going to be a really good game. And Candies 4 requests, we'll skip those for now. Here's a nice one. What gave you the concept idea for your main characters?
Well, I mean, it was very early on for Candy, I think I hadn't really seen a cat character, so I figured I just would do that,
Yeah.
And if I hadn't done it, maybe someone else would have done it. And maybe if they also had 3D modeling skills, maybe they would have made a cat character that looked real, that looked like the original characters. So I think I was just lucky.
Candy's not close to the original characters.
And I guess,
the original ones are fluffy.
These might have been because I'm more of a cat person
Classic-y.
than a dog person. Not to say that I hate dogs or anything, but yeah, I guess I like cats more.
He does kind of look like a cat person.
Good answer.
I like
I know.
both
It's all
equally. Because I had cats before my dog, so I'm I'm equal.
Yeah, very safe.
Yeah. So you're saying, right, Emil, if you like dogs better, you would have made a dog animatronic like Sparky.
Maybe.
Good
Who
old
knows?
Sparky.
If Sparky had been a cat, and everything would have been reversed. Like, and I like dogs
Oh,
more,
yeah,
then maybe, yeah. I mean, I didn't see a cat character at all. Maybe some drawings or something like that, but Sparky the dog was like the first 3D model, you know? Yeah, so, and we hadn't really seen any other 3D characters, so I just went with it, you know, and I figured I could model a cat. It's easy. Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so with Popgoes was originally he was conceptualized in a Reddit comment.
Wasn't he a
where I
weasel?
literally just wanted to use the wordplay of Popgoes the Weasel because of the music box in FNaC. It's like FNaF 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a weasel just because the song is Popgoes the Weasel, and then other like English like wildlife animals were introduced, like garden animals. So there'll be squirrels. Thankfully, Black Rabbit was already a rabbit, which is an animal you'd find in England's fields and stuff. And then there was a mole. I can't live down Morse the mole, but yeah, he was originally also just someone you'd find in the garden. Yeah. I've never personally seen a mole, but I know they exist. Yeah. And then there's badgers and crows as well. Yeah. So yeah, they all just sort of fit into this same habitat, and I wanted animals that they were kind of underrated, like badgers and weasels. No one really cares about them, so I wanted people to care about them a bit more. Yeah, they're cool.
And again, the same thing though. Nobody made animatronics or models of those animals. Which made them unique too. What other projects do you have in mind at the moment? So what's your mindset right now? Well, we know about you, Emil, and we kind of know about you as well, Kane.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. There's not much new stuff, I guess. I mean, we do. Ever since like Popgoes 2 was cancelled in like October, and we had Popgoes Memories, which was just showcasing all the characters, and then we have Popgoes Finale in the works now, which is just showing all the mini games which were in Popgoes 2. We've got some additional work in that as well, but it's already been conceptualized. But since Popgoes 2 cancellation, my girlfriend and I have been working on new game ideas, really like original things that deviate from FNaF entirely. But hopefully things will still appeal to the FNaF audience. Like it's still horror. But yeah, original.
Sounds nice.
We're also tackling Unreal Engine as well, which is interesting.
Oh, great.
Yeah, nothing we can announce, unfortunately.
Awesome.
All right, should I answer that too, or is that obvious? I mean,
I think it's obvious. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I have, there's the duck game, which I sort of put to sleep because I felt that, like, if I completed it, it wouldn't have the same impact or the same opportunity to impact or reach a lot of people. So I'm putting that on a hold and waiting till maybe I'm a bit more known, you know, for other games, maybe. Other non-FNaF games. So yeah, and I have like a million small ideas.
Yeah, once you put yourself out,
yourself
out there, it's hard to get out.
So yeah.
Was there anything that didn't make it into the Candies games?
Well, it's gotta
be. For the first one, not really. I think there's something about Shadow Candy being able to appear in your office like Golden Freddy in the first game. But in the second game, I think they're just me testing out mechanics, nothing I can really remember. In the third game, there was a lot of stuff that didn't make it. There was a boss fight between Mary and the origami cat. If I've
not seen much about the third one,
which I just replaced with him appearing as a pair of eyes, as like the what I think was the forgotten ending or something. I can't remember. And then there was a mini game, kind of like the what was it called? The mini game in 4 before each night with the minis.
Try mini game.
I can't remember. Plush Trap.
Fun
with Plush Trap.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that, except it was a staring contest between you and Monster Rat. So he would appear on the screen.
No.
And it would be close up, and you'd be able to see his eyes, like looking back and forth between your two eyeballs. So it would look like he's literally staring at you. It wouldn't just be like an image. And then I didn't really have a way to detect the player's actual like eyes where they were looking, no eye tracking or anything. So I just figured just keep the mouse over his eyeball. That'll be fine.
In the main gameplay.
Yeah. And then if you left it out of his out of the little eyeball area, then he would jump scare you.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, but I had no place to really put it because there was already some mini games before each night, and if you had to play like this other mini game before the night as well, it would just become crowded, I think.
Yeah.
So I scrapped it.
Who is your favorite animatronic from the Popgoes series?
Oh, good question. I mean, I'd have to. The obvious answer is probably Deadline because he's the big bad. He's like a proper hench boy. But
I don't really know much about Popgoes either, unfortunately.
Subtle. I really, really like the design for Minora the mouse because she's like an addition to the main cast from the first Popgoes, but not like the epitome. So the epitome animatronics are like a new set, completely new designs, and people will like expect a new set of the first characters. I don't think anyone really expected the idea of a scrapped original animatronic, which isn't Morse, even though it begins with the same letter, same color eyes. Minora is just a cool design. I think she's kind of underrated. Yeah, I think she's probably my favorite of the design. She was.
I wish I knew who he was talking about.
Mine's Simon.
Simon, of course.
Simon's got a very cool design. I really like Simon.
I do know Simon.
I was just gonna say at the cutscene at the end when you turn around and he kicks down the door and comes in. I love that.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't know what that is though.
Thank you. Yeah, and he had a redesign for Popgoes 2. He had a proper, and he had some voices tested on with Kellen Goff, which is pretty interesting. He was going to voice Simon in the second game.
Really?
I want to see it now.
The design is public, and the voices have actually had tests published as well, so you can check those out.
Okay, cool. I'll put them in if you send them me.
Ooh, please.
I not notice you. This is my forest. I'm in control now, streams. I'm the maker.
Emil, what was your biggest motivation to create Five Nights at Candy's? Was it just something for fun, like, oh, I'll just make it, or...
I guess it was, I started getting ideas in a way. I mean, it was like, it was maybe 4 months after I created Candy. And I had created some more characters along the way, like the Penguin and Blank and Cindy and Old Candy and all that. So I figured, I have a cast of characters that I could use.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I know how to like create the game like technically and all that. And I figured it could be fun. So I did it. And yeah.
And wasn't it fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I want to make a fan game, but I'm bad.
Fan 7.
Fan 7, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's this Fan 7 about? No, I did say.
We just sneezed.
No, honestly, I did say. I said I'd make Fan 7 even if I beat 50-20.
And he did.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people want me to specifically make it myself, so I can't get other people to do it for me.
I wouldn't mind.
That's too bad. I thought it would be fun as like a community project.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It would be fun, but we'll see. I might change my mind or just ignore the people who said that and just get all my favourite fan game friends to work with me on something because I'm busy myself. So I've been like trying to think like, okay, when can I learn to do stuff like this? When can I learn to this and this and this? But at the moment, I literally have zero time for it. So we'll see.
Don't know why that paused.
Free or anything, but you can help a little bit if you want.
If I don't beat it, I have to make a game
cool,
myself.
Like if
I participated
about like what it's about, and then you play it on your channel, and you're like experiencing for the first time. That could be cool.
Okay, right. So I'm at like a request. Okay. So I get all my favorite fan game friends, and I say, okay, make this game for me. Don't tell me anything about it. I'll give you a little bit of an idea, and then that's it.
Exactly. yeah.
And a lot of like a very hefty payment as well.
Oh
We
yeah,
can't-
I forgot about that.
Of course.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
I'll
We're gonna
good
need good.
ideas.
We're gonna need some good photos of your face to put on the character as well. So
That's true.
So your original game, Popgoes, right? Would there be anything you wish you can add or change or anything?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first game is over 2 years old now, and there was a plan for a remake for it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so Popgoes 2 was going to include a remake of the first game before it, and it would read your save files. If you already completed the first game, you wouldn't have to play it again. But yeah, there were lots of things that were already planned to change. One of the big changes that was planned was to make everything less confusing, because everything was introduced on the first night. You had all the cameras available, all the vent cameras available, the colors on the desk nobody understood. You'd have to look up how to do it online. But
Yeah.
so the idea that was quite interesting here was that the buttons on the desk, the colored buttons on the desk, would only appear like there'd be a cover, and the cover would open when you clicked on the server room camera.
Right.
So you'd know that the buttons have something to do with the server room.
Yeah.
And with this in mind, we had the idea that in the later nights, an easy way to make the game harder for the player is that every time they go on the server room, the colors would change positions. So you wouldn't know, green is always going to be the first one. You'd have to look.
Okay.
So it was just a simple way of making it harder. But yeah, one of the things that changed is just to make it easier for the player to understand what situation they're in by introducing the mechanics visually as they were in the game, like mechanically, like as they were actually in the play.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, I have thought about, because people have asked me before about like if I wanted to remake FNaC 1. I think I would just touch up on the mechanics as much as possible without changing the gameplay too much. So maybe just to make it more fun, because it felt a little monotonous maybe sometimes, just checking the doors. I would maybe give blank more of a purpose than just smashing the window. Maybe more characters could smash the window. I don't know.
Now that I hear him,
I
I can tell he's the
think I
phone
would
guy in the games.
maybe just make the game look better. I'm a lot better at modeling right now, so I could give the characters and the environment an overhaul if that was the case. Probably render everything in cycles now too. So yeah.
Do you have an idea for when Popgoes finale, like a mindset when it might be released at all?
Well, we had some. It was already said in the trailer that the game would come out in summer, and we've obviously we've screwed that one up. But it's we think at the moment a good deadline for us internally is Halloween. We can't promise anything. I think it should be ready by Halloween. I think.
Nice.
But we're relying on so many people at the moment. Again, it's a slightly bigger team than what we originally planned.
Yeah.
But we're adding more things. It's a lot of fun, and we're still motivated to do it. Unlike the end of Popgoes 2, it kind of dragged on a bit. But yeah, we think October Halloween should be a good time frame.
Yeah. Is there like a percentage bar where you would say it is at the moment?
Yeah, I think so.
I've always wanted to do that for my
Good
games.
percentages. The goal always can sometimes get bigger, so things can look like it can feel sometimes like you're never making any progress, like you're never getting any closer. But like right now, I think we finally set like this is the final product. We're aiming for that. We're not going to make it any bigger. And right now, I think we're probably about maybe 75-80%.
Nice.
Done.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Flights and Candies 4, what are you thinking?
Well, complicated because I don't have a lot of people to depend on, but I am one person.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's really complicated. I think if I had to give a percentage, I would say 75%.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's
So excited.
it's very difficult to, because one day you might think, oh, it's gonna be like in a month, but then another day you're like,
God, do I get that all the time?
It's gonna be like in a year.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. And I am busy in real life, with I'm studying stuff, and my apartment is gonna be wrecked by building people who are gonna do stuff with pipes or something, and and that's gonna time.
Whatever they're doing.
There's all these little things just pile up in a way.
Being an adult. Basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly.
Are you happy at the moment with how things are going, game?
I am really happy. I'm doing progress. Some days more than others, but I am doing progress, and I can see that it is going somewhere. And it's not that the project is going bigger or anything like that. Like FNaC 3 kind of ended up being a lot bigger than I expected, but here I have most of it planned out. So I know what I'm in for, and I know that what I have to do will take somewhat that amount of time to do, and then it's just all these things. Like every day you might work a little less because you have something coming up. And I've read about it on the internet. That's something like that a lot of creators undergo, which is really annoying. If you have something scheduled in 2 hours, then you can't like even bother to start working because you know it'll have to end. Yeah, stuff like that, for example. Yeah.
How are you feeling, Pop?
What's that?
So I call him Pop, guys. I just call him Pop naturally.
Pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of real life issues, not issues, but like drawbacks with working on games and stuff at the moment. It's adulty things, but it's not too bad. So
teenagers things.
It's still a very small project compared to like a game like Popgoes 2. Popgoes 2 was huge. It was impossibly ambitious. But with Finale, it's impressive in the sense that like when you play it, it's more of an more impressive with the length and the dialogue, and it's just cool. It's not scary. It's just fun and stuff. So it's hard to see a part of it complete and then think, oh, that's awesome. It's a massive part. It's just because it's so small. Each thing is so small.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like with Popgoes 2, if an epitome animatronic is complete, it's so satisfying because it's a giant, amazing, visually incredible thing done. But then with Finale, it's like the chunks are just smaller, but it's still satisfying to get things done. And it's great to see the people on the team like enjoying themselves. Because it sucks to see people feel like they're like drained or their work is going to waste or something like that. But it's much better with Finale and it's a lot more comfortable. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So what do you honestly think of each other's games?
Ooh, honestly. Well.
Oh no! You've let him off. Nah. End the stream.
I mean, I like how it had more content than just the nights themselves. You know, it had more of a reason to replay the nights with the whole finding Simon.
Yeah,
thing.
I love that.
And I think the puzzles they were maybe a little bit convoluted. I remember Dawko, he played it and then he had to call you to help him. Find clues and stuff. But I think if had it been the community doing that, I think most of the community was watching Dawko play it. But it would have been a real treat for the community to really just open up the game and really just look at every little detail. You know, like, oh, this number here or this message here or something like that. And I think the game really did that well. And I think it was a very satisfying payoff seeing Simon like that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you. So yeah, with Candies, I mean, Candies is probably next to Five Nights at Freddy's. Candies is probably the biggest inspiration for Popgoes, even in terms of character designs. They're both the shiny toy designs and stuff like that. And the environments in Candies 1, even Candies 1, I think the environments are so colourful and it looks like a real pizzeria, which is really impressive. But yeah, I mean, the gameplay's always felt so.
I don't know if you guys can hear the static or not.
Well balanced.
Sorry.
Candies 2, I think, had some issues with balancing, but otherwise, you could play the whole game and it could feel like this was play tested for months.
Yeah.
It just feels so clean, so flawless, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then the horror in Candies.
Free.
Horror in Candies 3. Oh
Candies
my god.
free. Oh my god.
Haven't seen
played that
much.
game again. Like I think
Play the
last year,
demo, though.
Like when my girlfriend moved in, we tried again, and it's still terrifying. It was the first time when you just see him in the room.
Oh,
It really nails the flashlight horror because there's always these horror games that either have or both, mainly both, free roam and you hold a flashlight. And in Five Nights at Freddy's, you have neither. You just in the first game at least. And then in Candy 3, you have just the one. You have the flashlight, and it's so good where you're still claustrophobic. You're stuck on the bed with the flashlight. This works really well. I just think, it's great. I don't really have any complaints with Candies. It's really fun.
Yeah, 3, like the sound effect is still in my head. Like I can remember it like that when you flash the light at the character and he goes zoom. I can't really do it in person, but you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
And you just see him staring at you. I hated that. That scared the crap out of me. No, I love both of the games. I enjoyed both of them immensely. Like I always say, like I have other favourite fan games, but you know, there's so many that I love so many, if that makes sense. Did that make sense? There's so many fan games, but there's so many good ones. But like I always say, Popgoes, Candies, Joy of Creation. I really like Pork Chop's Adventure at the moment. I love that.
Don't spoil anything.
Flumpties was good. I always say Five Nights at Treasure Island. Do you remember that? Five Nights at Treasure Island.
Oh, it's on the list of things to do.
Five Nights at Krusty Krabs.
The original ones. Yeah, man, there's so many, and I'm excited for the future as well because, like I just mentioned, Pork Chop's Adventure. Like, people are still making fan games that are still different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not slowing down.
Yeah, exactly. And I love playing them. Like, I really do. Because I only got a PC when I first started YouTube. I've never had a PC before. So, you know, basically what I've been
had
playing
this
on
PC
my
for like
PC
3 years.
is FNaF fan games. That's it. But it's always lovely to play them. Did you make games before? Candies and Popgoes?
No. Nothing like playable. I did like small tests, like something to test, like in a platformer with gravity or something. Nothing that's really a game, you know, just to test out my programming skills.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So, like, do you feel like making these fan games has definitely improved your knowledge on game design?
For me, it has.
It's like 90% of my experience in game making. Not just like because that's all the games that I've released, but also because it's where I've just learned so much about like balancing games and all kinds of technical things.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And has making fan games inspired you to do, like, you know, have it as a career at all? Like, would you dream to be like a game creator as a real, like, a proper job in the future at all?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think with a lot of fan game developers, unless they've already made like games in the past, and this was just something to latch onto, I think, a lot of fan game developers, me included, with making a fan game, you learn the ins and outs of things, especially things as well that you never really consider, like the music. The music is always the last thing in the games. I feel like, at least when I'm working on it. And like, you think of like music and sound effects and like UI, and it's like people always see what's on the front of the game, which is the designs, the gameplay, the environments and stuff like that. But it's a lot of hard work, and I think once you realise much is involved in a game, it can slow you down. Like you realise, or maybe I should just do animation. Maybe I should just do artwork and drawing, or just 3D modelling. But I think with myself as being the director, I think a lot of it just comes down like as the first rung of the ladder with creativity and writing and directing.
Yeah.
I think that if I can continue that and also learn how to do other things like modeling, I've done a lot more music recently. I think, there's a lot more potential for the future, and it's got me into because I've been speaking with so many people about what they do for the games. I've just learned a lot more, and it's amazing to figure out how it all works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really awesome. And that kind of answers like the question for like, you know, that's what I was going to ask. Have you got any like tips or anything for people who want to start to make a FNaF game at all?
I have been wanting to make games for like 10 years now, and like my very first idea was like the stereotypical unoriginal idea. I wanted to make like a Minecraft clone, basically. Like that's it. And I was just like, I'll just learn Java and just program it and make everything. It's gonna be easy. But then of course, it never is that easy. And the same thing, like I hear people who start modeling stuff in Blender, and they're like, how the hell do you do this? Who did you pay to teach you this or something? Like, and I gotta say that I never really, like, I was never taught by anyone other than just the internet and just me experiencing, or not exploring, rather exploring all the possibilities, what you could do in it, and just finding out what works and what doesn't work. Just gathering experience. Even failures or something, that's still an experience. Then you know what not to do. So it's just a matter of taking time and just keeping yourself engaged in it, and really just having that passion for it.
Yeah.
I think something more like close to home with fan games, something I've noticed, like a lot of people mention to me how I'm just the ideas guy, or that I've just managed to control all these people to do what I want for them, or what I want. It's not the case. It's something you really need. I see like a lot of people asking to start a fan game, and they just announce, hey, I'm making a fan game. Whoever wants to model, contact me, or something like that. It can't be like that. With directing fan games, a really good tip is to first of all be motivated and be involved in the community. If you're already at the stage where you want to make a fan game, the chances are that you already have a favorite artist or a favorite animator or favorite composer or something like that. Someone you speak to. It's important to go to them rather than just ask them to go to you. Like, don't announce that you want people to work for you. You go to them, like, be honest, tell them that you like their work, and you can actually, connect with them, become friends. Because you don't want to just use their work, because there are so many fan game developers, or people who want to become fan game developers, who just expect that they'll get the work done by just asking for it. But you can't, it doesn't work like that. You need to make connections. If you can't do everything by yourself, you actually need to make friends and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just really feedback on people who want to form a team, basically.
Cool. I think we're done. Guys, if you want other fan game developers on the FNaF show and you liked this, let me know, and let me know your suggestions in the comment section. I might ask Nixon, Jelly Liam. We'll just see. So let me know. And thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry for keeping you for so long as well. Kane's Twitter is Popgoes6. Emil's Twitter is Emil Macko. Check out, guys, they deserve it, and check out the games if you didn't know already. So Popgoes finale is coming out possibly around October, and Five Nights at Candy's 4, we don't know, but play all the games, just play them all because they're really good. Specifically play obviously Popgoes. Five Nights at Candy's 3 is in my top 5, so yeah. So check them both out, they're really awesome. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week. I don't know what's happening next week, just wait. I don't know what I'm doing, but you'll just see. I'll keep it a surprise, obviously. Thanks, guys, lots of love, and we'll see you all next time.
Nice.
Whoa. One man. Whoa. 2 animatronics. Whoa. 1 chance for survival. Hey, Dawko. Are you hungry? Rated R.
Oh wait, it's not done yet.
1 man. 2 animatronics. 1 chance for survival. Hey, Dawko. Are you hungry?
have not seen those because I wanna save the experience for myself. That was good. That was really good.